Hello, it's your boy, Dead Fred. The Magic X 040 has arrived. Does it deserve the hype?
I don't know who that was, but that's not me. Come on. I don't say things like it's your boy. You deadheads ever heard me say that? I don't think so. And that's definitely not the Magic X 040. But speaking of which, today we are going to take a look at the Magic X 040, which is now published under Ampon's brand. We last saw Magic X when they had the really impressive Mini 028, which we like still quite a bit. The only thing lacking was it was no touchscreen. But now we have the Mini 040 Ampon Magic X, whatever, that is a touchscreen. So we're going to take a look at unbox and check it out. You know, I like magic things. It reminds me when I was little and I ended up in a little shaman shop.
You think this is magic?
Whoa, the only magic he's going to need is to try to play something that big. My God, what was that? Okay, more AI slop. I hope you guys are liking these clips. I'm trying to be fun and creative with them, but if they're a little annoying, I'm sorry. But hey, the world is going towards AI. Anyways, remember to hit that like button and subscribe so you never miss an episode. Let's dive in and check out Magic X's DS inspired. You know, I used to just float through life, kind of just existing and surviving until I found an amazing product, one that you need to know about. But it's not really well known, and I want to keep it on the down low. And it is testosterone therapy. Are you on LowT? Do you need to go? No, wait, I'm not a therapist. I'm not a doctor. What am I talking about? LowT? Hey, deadheads. Welcome back to the channel. Or welcome to the channel for the first time, new deadheads. Today, we're going to take a look at the Magic X 040. It's here. As always, let's start with the box. And this is a nice box. We do have up front and center the Ampon. So Ampon is the actual publisher of this. This was designed by the Magic X team, but this is actually being fulfilled and sold by Ampon. I believe this is their first major product to sell. They've been around for a while reselling other products, but really nice to see that. The front of the box has a nice design to it. I like it a lot. Are you ready? The game has started. And it does show that it has Android and touch. Finally, an Android touch. You know, the previous Android, the Mini 028, didn't have touch. Thankfully, this one does. Looking around the side of the box, and there's not much going on. We do have the colorways over here, black and white. Unfortunately, just the two colors. Originally, we saw a blue one, a transparent blue one, which I thought would be really cool, but maybe they decided to keep it simple, black and white. We got the 64 gig version. Moving to the back, and we do have our specs here. This is running the all-winter Cortex A133P. We've seen that in many devices, starting first with the Smart Pro we saw way back when. This does have 2 gigs of DDR4 RAM, which means if Gamma ports his OS to this, that's going to be really great. 4-inch screen, 480 by 800. It's a 5:3 aspect ratio vertically, so we can get that NDS feel. Built-in Wi-Fi and Bluetooth, a vibration motor, and then it's got a 4,300 milliamp hour battery with dual Hall effect one single Hall effect joystick and dual stereo speakers. Let's get the box open and see what's inside. And as we delve into this thing and we pull out the handheld here, we do have a case. There is a nice little sticker here, online services, Discord Magic X team. Go join the Discord. It's awesome. You can find me there if you want to hang out and talk to me. Below that, we do have our manual. And our manual is pretty nice. It is in both Mandarin and English. This is a big manual. But there's a lot of information here with the Dawn launcher that's custom and everything. It's really good that they've included all this. So really like to see that they've given you a lot of information here on this manual. Below that, nothing, but there is a box here. In this little box, So we open it up and take a look inside. There is a USB-C cord. It does match for white. I don't have the black one. I wonder if the black one matches. If anybody has the black one, let us know. But it does match with the white, which I think is a nice touch. So standard cable there. Let's put everything back in the box and let's get this handheld out and take a look at it. Hey guys, sorry to interrupt the video, but I wanted to take a moment to talk about today's sponsor, AliExpress, and the Retroid Pocket Mini V2. We want to thank AliExpress for sending this to us. This is an amazing device. Now, we all know that Retroid had a big boo-boo with the original V1 where they kind of messed up the screen, but the new V2 comes with that big, beautiful full display screen. This is an amazing handheld. It already was great, but now it's even better. You can check my influencer page with all the coupon codes so you can get this and other great items at a discount. We love this handheld. It's so amazing. Again, we want to thank AliExpress for sponsoring our channel and for giving you deadheads all these great discounts. Remember to hit the links down there so you can save today. Anyways, back to the show. All right, so here it is in the hands. Now, this product has had a unique journey. I was part of the group of people who early on spoke with Magic X in the Discord when this was first discussed, like maybe even a year ago. And it's really amazing the feedback that this team took to get this device to where it's at. Now, let's talk about the hardware. This is good hardware. We have seen some really good buttons and everything. These are the same buttons that we just saw recently on the 028, which is kind of good and bad because I think that the buttons are just a little bit too small for my liking. I wish they went with just a little bit bigger buttons for this, since this is bigger than the 28 is. Moving on to the D-pad, and we have another solid D-pad offering from Magic X. It kind of like Ambernick, if they continue to keep using these same parts and they just refine them, we're going to just get better and better parts. Going down to the stick, and yes, we have the removable stick caps and these awesome Genful sticks that they first used way back on the XU Mini M. These are the sticks that all manufacturers should be using. The only criticism I have here about the sticks is I really would have preferred a second stick down here. Now let me explain to you why. This thing is good for shmups, arcade, and Nintendo dual screen, and even some 3DS if you can get it running. But for everything else, unless you turn it sideways, it's not very good. And as I show you some really goofy footage here of me playing on it sideways with a Bluetooth controller, you can see that it looks fantastic turned sideways with that 5:3 aspect screen ratio, especially on something like Game Boy Advance, but it's just kind of unsightly and it's not really intention of this. So that kind of forces a proposition here. Let's stay in just a handheld, and let's stay in just Nintendo DS, 3DS, and arcade. If they'd put the second stick here, we simply could have rotated. We would have had a stick and we would have buttons to use to do it. Now, as I show you my little custom made in China metal, I love this little TLC. Go check out the old video for that. It was made that way. The D-pad was kind of terrible because it was buttons like the Nintendo Switch style, but you could at least turn it sideways and play it that way. I would have loved to see that. So in revision 2, another revision of this Magic X, let's do that. Drop another stick down here. Let's be able to turn it sideways, and let's just play that way. As far as the shoulder buttons go, they're in line. They feel great. This has a great shape. It's very flat, but I like it. And this plastic feels really nice. It's very similar to the plastic that I felt on the XU Mini M. Now with the 028, I had the translucent plastic, which feels a little different than this, but I like this. It feels really good. We have speakers on the front. They sound fantastic. This screen is nice and sharp. It is a good looking screen. We do have start and select, and then we have just a single home button. It's another criticism. I would like to see an extra function button on here so we could do some things with it. Now moving around the side, we have our power button, and yes, two SD card slots. Now this thing is running Android and the Dawn launcher, but it's running it from the SD card. I don't think there's any eMMC in this, or there's a very small amount. I'm not sure if it's accessible, But the fact that we have the dual cards means if we get Linux running on this thing, it'll be awesome. Moving around the other side, we have our volume rocker. And then on the top, we do have our OTG, our headphone port, and our DC port. And then we have the amp on symbol on the back. Now, I've heard some of these came with the label upside down. Mine is correct, so not sure what's that. Nothing on the bottom here. So this feels great to hold. It feels great to play. But let's boot this thing up and take a look at the software and talk about that. Hey guys, sorry to interrupt the video, but I wanted to take a moment to talk about this guy. Yes, this is Powkiddy's newest, the V90S. Now, if you know anything about the original V90, it was a bit of a janky little console, but it won over the hearts of gamers everywhere because it really was the only clamshell that was available at that time. But now we have the V90S. We want to thank our friends at AliExpress for sending this over. We've been using this console quite a bit. Go check out our initial impression video. But let me tell you, this guy has a lot of charm. He has a lot going for it, including this little slick area down right here. Make sure you hit my influencer page to check out the code so you can save on items like this and much more. Anyways, again, thanks to our sponsor AliExpress for sending over this great handheld and to Powkiddy for making the follow-up that we all wanted. Back to the show. Now, booting into Android is a delight because, yes, we have a touch screen. We finally have a touch screen from a Magic X device. And the Dawn launcher has been customized and fully set up to take advantage of this unique screen setup. Here you can see the opening sequence. Now, I'm going to say something about this that I kind of feel very strongly about. I like to tinker and change things around, as do probably many of my subscribers, viewers, deadheads, etc. But I'm going to say this. I don't think you should mess with this. The way that it's coming, you should leave it alone. Don't add any ROMs to it. This thing is set up to specifically play Nintendo DS and arcade shmups along with pinball. And they have given and curated an awesome collection. In fact, if you spring for the biggest card, you're going to get a super awesome collection of games, more than you'll ever play anyways. In fact, this has kind of made a light bulb go off in my mind and kind of made me realize this will force you into actually playing games. Instead of having a million systems and a full emulation station desktop thing, just play the games and enjoy them. Now, the criticism about the screen size, I'll show you a comparison of this next to that handheld that I got from China, which has a 3.5-inch screen that's smaller. Yes, this is smaller. Now, let me show you this against the original Nintendo DS as well, the DSi. And you can see that, yeah, between the two, it is a smaller screen overall. But you are getting this unique setup with the bezel in the middle to separate the screens, which is going to give that authentic effect. Now, while playing this, I played some games that I've never emulated and played on other systems because I simply didn't have the correct setup for this. So we got to give props to the development team of Magic X for developing the software and custom firmwaring it. But again, if you start dabbling with trying to play Game Boy Advance, other things like that, they're just not going to look that great or be that enjoyable unless you turn it sideways. And then you need a Bluetooth controller or something to play it. So I'm going to again make this recommendation. Play the way they presented it. They presented a beautiful package. If you're going to give this to somebody that doesn't know anything about emulation, it's perfect. It's really great. They'll be able to use the Dawn launcher very easily. Now, if you do want to start dabbling with it, I ran into a lot of issues trying to get other launchers on here, trying to get things running. I don't know if it's the all-winner A133P ultimately or what, but it just was not fun and it was frustrating, so I don't recommend it. And I'm somebody that does it all the time with custom that. Now, if somebody can get a custom Linux firmware and figure out how to just have it boot right into like, DS or something like that or 3DS and set it up for everybody, that would be awesome. Now, what if they made this a little bit bigger? Well, I have something for you. I actually have another custom-made handheld that I picked up a year ago, and we did a review of it, which is a modified HTC product, the Hub. They called it the hot dog, but as I show you some footage here, you can see how a bigger screen would be more valuable and actually make this thing probably a lot better. However, you are getting more, space for this. This is barely pocketable as it is, although it's flat, and you got to take consideration. So it depends on how pocketable you really want this versus that screen size. But let's get this video wrapped up and let's give the overall thoughts on this. If you're okay with the very specific niche function of playing just mostly Nintendo DS games, along with some pinball and arcade shmups, then this is what it's at. And guys, that's kind of what people asked for. They kind of asked for a game system that would do this, something that would sort of mimic the feel of the dual screen. Although I think they thought, 2 screens, and maybe we'll see something like that in the future. I'm sure we will. In fact, I do think that Magic X is working on some kind of flip-top device. Now, they have another handheld coming out that is going to be probably actually better for DS because it does have 2 D-pads and you can turn it sideways. And I actually am looking forward to that one even more because I think ultimately that's going to be a better overall handheld. I don't know if it's coming through Ampon or who or when it's even going to release, but I'm looking forward to that one. But let me say, I like this. They've done well. Magic X has paid for their sins of the past. This is a great device at a good price. It's unique. It kind of forces me into playing DS or arcade shmups, and I kind of like it. As somebody that has way too many handhelds and can't really play them, I actually kind of like it. So I do recommend this, but again, I think it's a very specific use case. I think overall, the size is a little small. I wish it had a second stick, but it's pretty good, guys. It's kind of fun. I like it. Anyways, I want to hear your feedback. Leave me some comments and let me know what you think about it. Did you pick one up? I'd like to see other colors of this. What happened to translucent blue? Come on, let's get some fun colors. Anyways, guys, remember to hug your loved ones and love your hugged ones because tomorrow is never promised. I'm just getting over a bout of the Rona. Yeah, Dead Fred got the COVID again, so I apologize if I sound different in a couple of these videos. But live each day to the fullest because you never know what's going to happen tomorrow. We're coming up on 1 year, Mom. I can't believe we're a year without you. I miss you so much and love you. Rest in heaven. Anyways, guys, we'll see you next time. Dead Fred out.